stall the game out, play out units, block stuff, not worry about board wipe. Stray is like, I guess it's annoying.
You're watching the Eternal Tournament Series.
And we are back for round 4 of the Season 5 Eternal Tournament Series Invitational. This will be losers bracket round 2. What that means is every player here has already lost a match. And if they lose this one, well, it's a double elimination tournament, so you get eliminated. We will be having 8 matches going on and featuring 1, so that means 8 players will get eliminated again this round, and we'll go to our top team effectively moving forward. So let's look at the matchup that will be in front of us. And to assist me with that, as always, is Mark, a.k.a. Chibikawaii, in the booth with me right now.
Hello, Governor.
What is happening?
I don't worry about it. Just go with it. It's fine. So we have level 13 David on Combray midrange, and then we have Bradykin on Chalice Control. Combray midrange, I was looking. Okay, that's all right. Yeah. Definitely our conversation off camera confusing me as well, but yeah, it looks pretty good. I like the 4 reality wardens a lot.
Yeah, we covered this deck a bit in the pre-tournament, pre-show, pre-game show, whatever the hell we called it, coverage, where David's taking a different take on Combray midrange. We've seen Xenobelisk Combray decks before, but not normally with 4 Dawnwalker and 0 Valkyrie.
Yeah,
that's what we're seeing here.
Does he have the Valkyrie Enforcers in the board?
None. No. 0 Valkyrie Enforcer in this Combray.
I was gonna ask if he was like shy over, or if they were shy over like the double justice, but the reality warden kind of spits in the face of that.
Yeah, this is just all pound the ground Combray, which I don't think lines up very well against Chalice Control, which has things like Lumen Defenders and such, although Chalice Control, normally weak to flyers, is a bit better than it used to be thanks to Kothon and Archive Curator now, which, if you haven't noticed, Bradykin's on Chalice Control, been playing it a lot this season, still playing it, and I gotta say, I think Bradykin is favored here, but hey, Dawnwalkers with Stand Together, that could end up posing a lot of problems for a control deck.
Yeah, and there are some Xena initiations in the board that'll help. I'm trying to just to give a little bit more of that flight mechanic, get rid of some of the smaller units that they have. We see the force. I'm kind of leaning towards Bradykin as well, but I won't discount David completely.
David's got big, brutally efficient units, but just not a ton of evasion. And Bradykin, in theory, will be able to gum up the ground and slow that down enough.
Hippity chop block.
Yeah, to be able to turn the corner and leverage that Chalice. But again, the proof will be in the pudding, or however that goes, and we'll just have to see the matchup. But yeah, this is the kind of deck that Chalice Control is built to prey upon, even if this is a bit faster of a flavor of Combray than we're used to seeing. And again, this is the losers bracket round 2. So whoever loses this match, best of 3 in front of us, will be eliminated from the tournament. So both players playing for their lives, and we're giving them the go ahead now. And it looks like mulligans are getting resolved as both players will ship away these power hands.
And Rhino, I think Lights Out Ace had a pretty good name for the losers bracket, which was Alternative Success Bracket, and I think, in the spirit, that's what we really should be using terminology-wise.
Look, I'm just going off the script here. You know how I am.
Well, that's great. Yeah, but the script's talking about pits, and I don't know.
All right. Well, anyway, this game is underway. Level 13, David mulligans into a hand with no Justice Sources, double Amber Monument, Initiate of the Sands. Does not seem like the fast start he wants. Meanwhile, Bradykin's got great fixing and kind of do whatever he wants. Going to use the Island's favor, though, to get the second Primal Source. Could have used Amber Acolyte later to do that. Instead, just got to wait on deploying threats.
Yeah. And as long as nothing actually happens at Initiate of the Sands, which it doesn't look like it could, theoretically a Desert Marshal could come down, but David hasn't missed a power drop yet, so there's no reason for Bradykin to snap that off. He will be able to play at least one Dawnwalker.
Yeah, Bradykin most likely will elect to save the silence for a Dawnwalker rather than using it on an initiate here. The real question is, do you hold up Desert Marshal and Wisdom, or just use Amber Acolyte and he opts to use it?
Oh man, I was about to say though, if David had missed a power drop here, I would be very tempted to use that Desert Marshal on the.
So Dawnwalker comes out, reminding us about the status of the lights, always. And Bradykin gets to now deploy a Kothon and hold up Desert Marshal, or maybe just hold up Desert Marshal now that he's looking at a double heart. Actually, just going to preemptively silence against a deck that is playing standing.
Okay. I don't hate it.
I like it. And if you want to make sure that Dawnwalker's silenced, might as well do it now. Yeah, you miss out on being able to block it, but you also guarantee that it actually gets silenced, which is kind of important here, although at the same time you have harsh roll, But again, the blowout potential there is so strong, right? If you wait to do that and they stand together in response, they get an Aegis, you pop it, but then if you kill the Dawnwalker, whenever it comes back, it has that Aegis still. That's really annoying.
Little things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just having a 5/2 that comes back into play and triggers all the other 4 ones that might be in the yard and has an Aegis on it and Overwhelm seems pretty good.
Bradykin uses Wisdom and finds another Desert Marshal and silences this other Dawnwalker. And David's going to be a little sad about that.
We do see an Awakened student, so if we find another power, that seems reasonable.
It looks like at least I've lost sight of Bradykin's hand, but that's okay. It's Chalice. We can figure it out. In the meantime, David, has to decide what threat to play out here. Could go Obelisk, but instead goes with a Seraph. And now if Bradykin opts to pull the trigger on the Harsh Roll, I know that sounds a little weird. It's just a Seraph and an Initiate, but your opponent's been missing power.
Yeah.
And so you take out a power and a Seraph. That's not a bad deal, but it looks like Bradykin's not going to take that.
I'm like, if they had power destruction in this game, I would probably be playing it. So big fan of doing anything to get that Initiate off the board.
Yeah, but again, Bradykin passes up on that opportunity. I'm pretty sure he has a second Justice Source, and just hasn't deploying it. Because he's used Amber Acolyte and all sorts of other things. Yeah, instead just silencing this Initiate and double blocking the Seraph. So that does deprive David of power, but not this. Just moving forward, David will have power. But that means so
he can still play Obelisk next turn, which is, I think, probably what he's going to be doing, right? I don't unless there's some reason to vanquish something, but that seems difficult currently.
Yeah. Looks like David will just deploy out the Desert Marshal as a 2/1 that'll become a 3/2 here, jam down the Obelisk.
All right, and we're 1 power away from being able to play the Carnosaur as well, since we have the 3-time influence already there.
So we'll see if Bradykin opts to use any kind of removal here. What's more likely to happen is a chump into Harsh Roll. Bradykin goes down to 20. The Justice Source will show up that he's been slow rolling, even though David knows he hasn't. But still, Harsh Roll clears him.
And Kothon coming down.
That's a good follow-up.
Titan's not bad.
Yeah, Sandstorm Titan's a good rip off the top. Basically, all David doesn't want to see right now is Reality Warnings, because those aren't castable. Predatory Carnosaur is also not castable. Everything else, castable. We would be preferring that these units bring back Dawnwalkers, but those have been silent. So just the lone type.
2 more still in the deck. These Vanquishes are now turned on. I guess you're trading a card for the equivalent of 6 power, which feels like medium, I guess.
Well, Chalice not exactly known for having a bevy of vanquished targets. So
true.
I think it's pretty reasonable to use one of them here. You don't even know when you're going to get a second target until other owls start showing up, either Great Parliament or Chalice activations, whatever. Swings in, Island's Choice meets it.
Rough.
Yeah, you don't have much of a choice as level 13 David there, though. You got to keep attacking.
I agree.
You're the beatdown. And Kothon now is free to start pecking away at David's life total. Goes down to 20.
Yeah, non-depleted power would still be very good here for David.
Yeah, getting down a predatory Carnosaurus, eating up the Kothon would not be a bad turn at all, but we'll have to wait and see what he ends up drawing. Bradykin buffing up the Kothon to a 2/6. Still doesn't take it out of Carnosaur range, but might if Bradykin finds another combo.
Yeah, and with that banner, it actually turns on everything in his deck. So even the Reality Wardens are still at least playable this time. Whether he wants to draw that, I guess this deck just seems like it's going to have a hard time coming back.
Yeah, once it loses momentum like this and has a bunch of silenced Dawnwalkers, it's going to be difficult. If those Dawnwalkers weren't silenced, I would say David's got a great shot. But that is not the case. So he'll eat up the Kothon, get a 7/7 on the board, and Brady can almost certainly have something to deal with that. We know Bradykin had a double Harshful hand, I think, if I'm calling this correctly. Again, we've lost sight of his hand. But
yeah, I do believe there was another Harshful in hand. So that's going to make this playing out the Seraph very interesting. I feel like if I'm David, I'm probably going to play it out and just say if he's got the Harshful, he's got the Harshful. Like, what are you going to do?
Right.
But that's not going to work out particularly well.
Archive Curator coming down just as a 1/4. It's an odd play from Bradykin.
Yeah.
But there's the Island choice. Like these silences are still pretty valuable. Maybe Bradykin just has a lot more in hand we don't know about.
So we know
it is also pressure against David, who's at.
Yeah, so there's 3 unknowns in hand, 2 unknowns in hand for Bradykin.
Yeah, assuming I'm correctly recalling that, or we're both collectively correctly recalling that Harshful. Okay, no block. 4/5 overwhelm comes down.
Bradykin can't really Harshful here. Like it doesn't actually do, and it looks like they're going to, but it doesn't do them a large amount of service.
It takes out a Seraph and a 6/6 overwhelm that could both get bigger because of Obelisk. So yeah, I mean you're just cleaning up a Hombre Healer, a couple of units that cantrip. Yeah, it's Harshful.
But this is kind of my thing is like Bradykin doesn't have a follow-up. Like I guess Bradykin doesn't know that David doesn't. All right, well that's pretty good. All right.
Turns out you also don't have a follow-up if you're dead.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. Awakened Student. Number 1 A+.
Vanquish takes out an Owl. Awakened Student is already a 4/4. And we'll see how Brady can respond. I didn't at least hit his opponent for 2. Channel the Tempest to the face. That's a good response.
Yeah.
So Finest Hour is not Protect, and that will give Bradykin the first game of this 3-game.
Yeah, I have to imagine the 2 Protects are coming in here for David, right?
I think both Protects, both slows come in. I prefer just having 4 Protects, but David really enjoys playing slow. So yeah, Protect, slow, stand together. All cards you got to consider are going to be joining the fray. And yeah, the Vanquish is coming out because while they have targets, they're mostly targets that happen when you're already.
It was interesting. David hovering over the Reality Wardens. I kind of like those just because they're so big. They even eat Combre Healer after it's been buffed.
They're big. It's just a question of are they better than things like Praxis' Place or Predatory Carnosaur or Auric Runehammer? Questions you have to ask. You know, Hammer can give you another threat that's hard to deal with depending on how the board looks and if you're being proactive. So we'll
survive through Harshful.
Yeah, now it doesn't kill everything out of Bradykin's deck, and Bradykin's playing like a lot of small things that are annoying, but at the same time, it's still uncluttering the board and giving and kind of taking out chump blockers that Bradykin could have for your other big unit, but you're cutting big units for it, right? This is the question. On Bradykin's end, though, what do you think is coming in or coming out? I like Scorpion Wasp here.
Yeah, I'm taking a quick look. Yeah, Scorpion Wasp seems pretty good.
Lumen Defender
seems great. I don't mind the Channel of the Tempest, especially since there's only 2 Protects and the games are probably going to go a little long.
Yeah, it could be a good reach finisher. I don't know if that's exactly what you want here because it's not even guaranteed to like be a removal spell. Eight of the Huru might be a little too slow, but
yeah, I guess like I was just looking at just big old board stalls, right? And channel the Tempest is just a way to completely beat those.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. We do see that as this game is underway, David did bring in that slow that he loves. Ended up keeping in 2 finest hours. We thought maybe all of them would come out, but it doesn't look to be the case here. And, it's just an issue of the Sands beatdown, as far as the eye can see.
So, I understand why he's not. Well, I think I understand why he's not firing off the slow, but he's trying to basically waiting for Bradykin to whittle his hand down so that hopefully he hits something good. But I kind of like just getting the information.
There's nothing to do with that information, though. It's not going to help you decide what threats to play or what cards to play because you don't have any choices to make. So instead, he's just going to wait on this slow for as long as possible to get it closer to being guaranteed to hit a harsh roll, because that's what you want to hit with slow.
Sure. Is there merit in hitting a chalice with it?
And making chalice cost 8 is cute, but ultimately it's not going to change how much it costs to activate or anything like that.
Fair enough.
If once your opponent stabilizes and gets a chalice down, like you're already... But it looks like David's going to pull the trigger here. Yep, sees the harsh roll, sees a chalice, sees a channel. So it can make it so that the channel of the Tempest basically never gets casted. But yeah, some good stuff out of Bradykin here. You almost need to slow the chalice at this point just because you're not going to have the pressure to.
And it looks like that's what David did.
Yep, Davis ended up making that chalice cost 8. That's probably the correct line, but it feels really bad because you're just not cheap.
I like the 25 turn clock versus the 13 turn clock.
So, yep, the 2-1s versus 1-1s and more Desert Marshals from David. And David really wishing this finest hour was kind of any. Like, if that finest hour wasn't Auric Runehammer like we were talking about, it could have actually slowed this 1-5 and gone into Auric Runehammer beatdown.
Yep.
But again, this is not the case here. But Ace Face comes out. The finest hour will be able to push one of these 2-1s past this 1-5. And yeah, Bradykin sniffs that out and blocks the Initiative of the Sands.
Yeah, I don't even know how I feel about finest hours in this matchup.
I would take.
Yeah, most of your stuff is going to just be bigger than when Chalice is playing anyway.
Yeah, I think David's wishing he took them out, but we saw him shave down to 2. Just those last 2 probably should also.
Yeah, especially there's a lot of things in the sideboard that are like subjectively better. But
even though we don't have a hand cam of Brady's hand, we did see it via slow. So we know Bradykin has a harsh roll, opted to not use it there, and David naturally draws a stand together off the top. And that could give Bradykin some problems here, unless Bradykin's got an Island's Choice, which I don't think we saw, right? We saw a Channel of the Tempest, Lumen Defender, harsh rule, and a Chalice.
Yep, and we know that the Chalice is currently sitting at 8 power.
Defender, harsh rule, Chalice.
Yep.
Channel. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So harsh rule might come out here, but no, a Chalice off the top for Bradykin. That's not 8 cost. Level 13 David opts to continue to hold up this stand together, not respecting the possibility of a backlash coming out from Bradykin, which doesn't mean you miss out on some damage here, but maybe get the tempo hit that you're hoping for via Bradykin casting a harsh rule here and clearing out his own units for you.
Yeah.
Channel comes down and you'll stand that.
And this is why, like, instead of playing the finest hour last turn, I kind of liked just go ahead and getting out the stand together. I understand why he did it in order to clear the Lumen Defender, but I don't know.
So yeah, force to stand together against the channel means you're very much exposed to harsh rule here. But gonna trot out the Dawnwalker and harsh rule is gonna come down here, reset this board, and give Bradykin room.
Now, David is still probably going to be sitting decently pretty if he can find something with with 5 power off the top of the deck to bring back that Dawnwalker but that's a decent if. I'm trying to see. He has got a good chunk of hits, but not as many as I would want in order to feel very comfortable.
At the moment, Bradykin is favored, but the fact that Dawnwalker did not get silenced before it died is something David can hang his hat on as he rips another Dawnwalker off. Not going to bring back the other one, and only one down. One Desert Marshal down. Another Lumen Defender comes down. Bradykin gains a huge chunk of life, draws more cards. And yeah, this is going to be tough for Dave to close out.
Yes, it is.
Stand together, a nice card here, though. Can turn this Dawnwalker into a two-turn clock, but might want to just save it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of, just holding it in your hand. And he's going to have at least 7 power, so he's going to be able to play most things in his deck. Ooh, do you fire?
Yeah.
I kind of, yeah.
You use it. You're forced here. This is not the spot where you can get greedy and let it get... No. And now permanently has Aegis. But again, this is just such a hard spot for David. I really don't know how he wins this game other than Bradykin drawing only power.
Oh, all right. Yep, I think you end up making that.
Oh, yeah. This attack is great because now you get to reset the Aegis.
Yep, and he's getting back 2 Dawnwalkers. Now he can start to kind of wiggle around. One of his units is definitely going to eat it next turn. I guess 2 of his units are going to eat it, but then one of Bradykin's is. So there's a world. There is a world where David can still pull this out.
Yeah, but that world is fleeting as Bradykin finds more action, which finds more action, right? Channel the Tempest, kills the Titan, draws 4, plays power. Ooh, it's so bold to even attack with a 4/3 here. Gets that clock.
I mean, that just signals Eileen's favor, right?
Slow, not very good against a opponent that has an Aegis on their face.
Don't even worry about it. It's great.
Yeah, normally you don't think of Island's favor doing much in this matchup, but when your opponent boarded in slows, it gets a bit better. Island's choice kills one of the Dawnwalkers. The other one gets eaten by it.
Well, that was a game.
Yeah, this is now just a matter of really David either scooping it up and accepting that this is over or desperately hoping he can win. Yeah. That's the line he's going to take. I understand that in an invitational tournament elimination setting. Who knows? Maybe your opponent misclicks the button.
Oh, for 100%. Yeah. I'm not scooping until I'm dead.
Yeah, but here comes the scoop from David. He's just way too far out. Bradykin favored and goes kind of to script there. Takes the match 2-0 over level 13.
Yeah, congratulations to Bradykin, David. I'm sure we'll see you in the next invitational.
Yeah, we'll be seeing more of David some point. But that is now another one bites the dust here, and that is it for this round. That is the last match outstanding in the losers round 2. So we're getting set up for the next losers bracket round. But first, we'll talk about the results. How about we do that? So let's get a quick bracket update. Looks like we just saw level 13 David go down. The Ski J got eliminated by Tatsumaki. Tatsumaki holding on with phone control in the losers bracket. SMJ takes down Shed. Flash goes over Paradox, so Paradox is eliminated. Alabongi gets eliminated by Moto. Balak takes down Ogreman, staying alive in the losers round with that Argentport list. Child Roland takes down Ilya K. So that's another Chalice deck down to Child Roland, who was on Dark Combre. And Hulkbuster takes out Kamado. So Kamado is out as well. So we've got a quick update on how the teams are faring. We've got a little team performance graphic here. So how about we break this down?
Yeah, so it looks like we have Team O&D sitting. So I guess they're technically in second, but they have the second most players with 3 left: Angry Chicken, Komodo, and Flash. Then we have Team SPG with Hythar, Bradykin, SMJ, and Child Roland all still sitting in the tournament. Team STT holding on with Swan in left in. Team GN, unfortunately, all players have been eliminated. And then Team ET hanging on with Jaffa, Munch, and Sunnyvale. Moosh? Munch? Moosh?
Moosh, but it's
Moosh?
misspelled. There should be an E on the end of Moosh there.
Moshe.
Yeah, Team ET with a real strong showing right now. 3 people still in the winner's bracket. There's only 8 players still in the winner's bracket, and they have 3 of them. And I don't think any of them are going up against each other. Oh, no, Jaffa and Moosh are matched up in the winner's bracket, so they're going to have to kind of cannibalize each other there. But, yeah, David did get eliminated, but Sunnyvale, Moosh, and Jaffa are still holding on. So good stuff from the teams. They're going to run into each other, but that's a good problem to have if you're running each other into the winner's bracket round 3. But before we get to that, we've got losers bracket round 3. We're going to go back to losers bracket, eliminate some more players before moving on to the winners bracket. So we're going to take a quick break before getting back to more eternal losers bracket elimination action.
Woo!